Hello, people of the internet, and welcome back to yet another FNaF 2 movie news video. And in today's video, we've got a bunch of news, including a brand new synopsis for the movie, Jason Blum dropping some hints at future FNaF movies beyond the second one, and test screenings have officially begun for FNaF 2, giving us our first reactions to the movie from general audiences. So that and so much more we're going to be talking about today. So why don't you scroll down and tickle that subscribe button. I'll wait. First up, we have a brand new synopsis for the movie being released by Hoyts Cinema, and it reads, "No one survives forever. This sequel follows the supernatural nightmare unleashed when a haunted pizzeria's dark secrets refuse to stay buried." So once again, continuing the trend that we're seeing with this movie of someone's gonna die. The first tagline we had was, "Everyone can survive 5 nights. This time there will be no second chances." And this new one says, "No one survives forever." So continuing the theory that fans have that some main major character is gonna be biting the bullet by the end of this film. The sequel follows the supernatural nightmare unleashed when a haunted pizzeria's dark secrets refuse to stay buried. So whatever went down at the first Freddy's location, because again, this second movie is a direct sequel to the first movie. Unlike the FNaF 2 game, where FNaF 2 is a prequel to FNaF 1, this second film is after the first film. So with this new description, whatever went down at Freddy's the first time is not done yet. I think, honestly, this is probably talking about William. We know he's going to be rotting in the first Freddy's location for quite a while now as he becomes Springtrap. So I wouldn't be too shocked if it's setting up that. Again, we've theorized in the past that there's going to be some trauma going on with Vanessa, maybe hallucinating William's presence around her. And then obviously, I think a similar thing would be happening with Mike and Abby, probably more specifically Mike, because I definitely don't think we've seen the last of the original FNaF 1 spirits. At some point in the movie franchise, we're gonna have to let them go. They're gonna have their happiest day or some movie equivalent. So even though the building collapsed, they are probably still in there torturing William as he's rotting away. They are still angry. So maybe they are haunting Mike in his dreams once more. Don't let that be the case though. I'm kind of done with all these Mike dream sequences. But this brand new synopsis, I would love to know your thoughts on. And then also recently we had Blumhouse and Universal release their brand new movie, Megan 2.0. Now unfortunately, even though Megan had some real fighting words for Freddy Fazbear the other day.
What do you think of Freddy Fazbear and his crew, and would you spend 5 nights at Freddy's?
Freddy and the gang? Adorable. I'd spend 5 nights at Freddy's just to show them how a real animatronic handles business. Spoiler alert, I'd be the only one left standing.
Even if she thinks she can take on Freddy, she absolutely cannot take on Freddy at the box office, because her movie, not doing too good. Yeah, it was a fine movie. But anyways, during the premiere of Megan 2.0, Jason had a few things to say about the upcoming FNaF 2 movie, so let's roll the tape.
Scott created such a rich mythology with so many different characters and kind of storylines to follow. And so the canvas of the second movie, we introduce a whole bunch of new characters, and the canvas is just much bigger. It's a bigger movie, and I can't wait for fans to see it. I think fans are going to be very happy.
And can we get more than 2? Can we get more 5 Nights at Freddy's?
I hope so. I hope so. I'm going to try.
So 2 things in this interview. First of all, of course, the stakes are bigger. More characters are being introduced. Most likely the toys, the wizards. You got the puppet as well, of course, all the brand new human characters like the teacher we saw, McKenna Grace's character. There's just a lot more characters, a lot more storylines to follow, which hopefully isn't too jam-packed, because again, you got all the brand new animatronics, the toys, the wizards, the puppet, as well as all the human characters. He says the canvas is simply just much bigger, so hopefully they can handle following every single storyline pretty clearly. And then the second thing, Jason hopes that we get more FNaF films beyond FNaF 2, which obviously. We've known for years at this point now, even before the release of the first FNaF movie, that Matthew Lillard, who plays Willie Mafton, has signed on for 3 pictures, so 3 movies. And the films are going to do insanely well. FNaF 1 was the highest grossing Blumhouse film of all time. It was the highest grossing horror film of 2023. So obviously they had at least 3 movies planned. I think if the trilogy does well, obviously they're going to do more. The way Jason Blum's like, oh, I hope so. I'm really going to try. Sounds like he has a lot of plans for FNaF movies, possibly TV shows as well. So to me at least, it sounds like the FNaF cinematic universe is really only just beginning. And it really sounds like they're gonna go all in for FNaF 2's release. Because recently on a podcast, Jason said that Blumhouse is treating FNaF 2 as a theatrical event because of its higher budget.
If you look at last year, one movie did over $100 million that was a low-budget horror movie, Longlegs. That's it. I think you need theatrical events, and that's a big thing that we are looking at. That's what we have. You know, we have Black Phone 2 as a theatrical event. Five Nights at Freddy's is a theatrical event. More expensive movies.
Are you scared now about your other sequels?
No, the ones that we have, I'm not scared about. We have not produced a straight-up scary event movie that has not worked.
That sounds like they're going to be doing a lot of promotion leading up to the film's release. Hopefully, all I care about are we get some popcorn buckets. I've been saying this forever. A popcorn bucket of the cupcake where its mouth opens up, you put the popcorn in, inside the frosting up at the top you got your drink, the candle acts as a straw. Universal. Come on. But then lastly, for today's FNaF news video, we've got official test screenings and reactions to FNaF 2. This news comes from The Hollywood Reporter, so not a scoop, not a leak, official big news media article release. And they say the company, Blumhouse, is now looking ahead to October's Black Phone 2, which is a pure horror feature, and December's Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which test audiences are said to have responded enthusiastically to, which is really good news because that means that general audiences, non-FNaF fans, just regular everyday folks, are sitting down, watching the movie, and actually being invested. They are interested. They liked what they saw. That's the whole point of test screenings, is just to gauge general interest and feedback for a movie by general audiences. If the test screenings don't go well, the audience members don't like certain things about the movie, they sometimes reshoot the movie, they reshoot some scenes, they take it back to editing, they remove some scenes, maybe they switch up the pace of the movie. But the fact that whatever cut of the movie they have right now, because keep in mind, we're still like 5 months away from release, so they're probably still working on like VFX and other effects for the movie, but whatever probably unfinished cut they have right now, the fact that test audiences still really liked it, that's a really good sign. I will say, because a few people pointed it out, test audiences were reacting positively to the first FNaF movie. So it might end up being whatever small group they gathered for test screenings right now really like the movie, but whenever you fully release it and open it up to more general public audiences, a wider range of viewers, that larger, more vocal audience might not react the same way. Something else to keep in mind, by the way, with the test screenings for the first FNaF movie was that they didn't have general test screenings.
Because there was an actor strike going on while Freddys was in post-production, we couldn't do that. So Scott and the director, Emma Tammy, went about finishing the movie without a typical test screening process. Actually, the only people who saw it and gave feedback were friends of Blumhouse employees who happened to be Freddy's superfans. These fans loved the movie so much and gave such great feedback that made the movie even better for all of you.
So no wonder test screening audiences really enjoyed that first FNaF movie, but at the same time, I do think that reinforces the fact that general audiences reacting positively to FNaF 2 is actually a good sign, but either way, I'd love to know your thoughts. So while it might be worth still being just a little bit cautious, I think the fact that we're still 5 months away from release, test audiences are really into the film, they're reacting positively, enthusiastically, I still think this is a really good sign. And hopefully, at some point soon, we can get a trailer. I know people are kind of anticipating that release. At this point, I do think we're going to get something in either August or September. August, because not only is that the 11th anniversary of FNaF as a whole, there's also 2 Universal movies coming out in August, The Bad Guys 2 and Nobody 2, as well as the horror film Weapons that opens on, actually, August 8th, FNaF's anniversary. Or there's actually a lot of horror films coming out in September that we could get a trailer for. The Conjuring, Him, as well as Strangers Chapter 2. But those are just my guesses. I'd love to know what are your thoughts on everything we talked about today, especially all the brand new FNaF 2 movie info. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Goodbye.